Now, remember yesterday morning I said I dubbed in the clunk? Well, I actually did. And I don't know, somehow between the time I dubbed it in first thing in the day and when I did the final edit, I removed that little sound bite. It got deleted and I didn't know it. So yesterday evening when I was watching it on YouTube to see what everybody else was seeing, it came up, the video started up and it said I dubbed in the clunk, and then there was nothing there. So for those of you who missed it, here it is. Okay, yeah. I very, very seldom dub in the clunk, the coffee cup clunk. And when I do, I tell you I do it. I like to keep it honest. Most of the time, 99 times out of 100, when you hear me clunk down the coffee cup, it's the real McCoy. Now, we did come back to the model table here yesterday. And I think I made pretty good progress here. I'm almost at the point where I've got to set up and paint all this stuff now, because when we flip the page over here, you know, we're working on the hull, and I've got a lot of little pieces and parts over on the other side of the table there that need to be painted, and I've been putting it off. I think once I get at it, it'll be okay. Yeah. I cut the video off early yesterday. I might be doing that again today because the rollback is really long. I can't remember. I think the rollback is longer than all of yesterday's video. And we did have a bit of a sunrise this morning. Maybe I'll show you that. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time talking about the rabbits today. I'm slowly moving their carrots back to the old place in the backyard. I don't know if you can see it here, but they're about halfway down the sidewalk now. They're getting closer to the real carrot pad, and it's going to be very soon, except for this blizzard that we're getting, or supposed to be getting in a couple of days. I think in 48 hours it's supposed to be here now. Anyway, yeah, I can almost walk in a straight line out to the back where the bird feeder is. Anyway, let's roll back and see how it is we got to this place, and then we'll see when that's over. Okay, continuing right along here this afternoon. This turret here, this one here is number 9, and we are basically done step 9 now, except for putting this gun in here, and we're not going to do that until after everything is painted, because as I mentioned, this gun is going to be painted a different color than our main gun. But we got the ladder on, and I think it looks pretty good. As long as I don't accidentally catch it on something, I don't think it's going to come off of there. In fact, I'm sure it won't. The trick will be don't catch it on anything. Now, I got a very small problem, but I think I can figure it out here. We have to assemble both of these guns, one of which has to have the holes drilled in the bottom. Okay, now, but we got another problem. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but this one barrel is kind of splayed out to the left here like this. It should be more pushed over, but when I try to straighten it out, it doesn't want to go. It's all, it's all glued solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to heat it up really good just in this little area and just slowly pry it over. And then I'm imagining probably about 200 we'll start out at 240 degrees. I think that's going to be enough to soften all this plastic here, and then just pry it over. So I'm going to do that next. And then we'll put one of these covers on. And then the remaining one we'll drill our holes. And that's what I hope to do between now and bedtime. Okay, let's recompose here. Okay, so this is the one that we want to bend in just a little bit. And this is the plan. I want to be able to hold this down so it's not going to move, and I could just put a little bit of pressure on this until I can feel that the plastic is getting soft, and then we'll just let it cool in place. I know this kind of looks like overkill here, but I'm going to be careful not to put too much pressure on it, just enough to hold it down. So I can put a little pressure on there. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, it's 240. That looks better to me. Probably not perfect, but it's a lot better. At least it's not noticeable. Right away, before it was so noticeable. As soon as you look at it, it just you could see it was looking off to the left there. Okay, this is the one that we made the adjustment on, and yeah, you can see that the shaft that runs through here is a little bit bent, but it had to be in order to straighten it. Now here's hoping that this is still going to fit. I don't see why it shouldn't. And well, on the other hand, it is not fitting good. What's happening here? Well, now that barrel that we adjusted is coming up against this side, this side right here, and it's kind of binding a little bit. I don't know. Am I going to have to reheat and get everything over, or maybe just shave 1/4 of a millimeter off of the edge here? It won't be noticed. Otherwise, it seems to be fitting okay. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and fit this all together and glue it up. We'll be doing it much the same way as we did this one, and we'll be gluing the rangefinder, whatever you call them, parts on. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that done. I might have to do a little bit of whittling, you might say. Either that or reheat and just move everything over, but I don't think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'll think of something, don't worry, we'll get it. Okay, our other turret is done now as well. So we just got the one left here. It's going to have this, looks like some kind of an insect. Okay. Now, very gently that we don't break anything here, because we got some really, really fragile little parts on, if you remember. So, you see these two pegs on the bottom. I think it's probably safe to put it upside down as long as I don't bump it. And then get my divider here. And we'll try and see which holes it is we have to drill out in the turret here. I'm just going to go from the center to center. That's pretty good. All right. Now, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm trying to do it so you can see it too. Okay, well, clearly it's those two holes right there. That's the ones I thought it was. And I'm going to make them a little larger than necessary, just in case you know, I don't get it quite right, because I don't want to have to be forcing anything here. Oh, where can I put this so it's going to be safe? Probably back in this jar. All right, so we know it's these two holes right here on the. Anyway, well, now I put it away. How am I going to measure the pegs? Okay, I'm going to just recompose here and get myself organized. Okay, I measured the pegs on that part, on the catapult, and I found a bit here that's just a little bit larger. And what I was trying to say earlier is that I want to drill the holes out just a little bit larger than the pegs are, just in case the spacing is not quite right. Because when it comes time to mounting the catapult on the top of the turret here, if I don't want to have to force anything, because like I was trying to say, everything is so delicate on that I can imagine that I'll get all ham-handed and end up busting something. So, yeah, we haven't used our Tamiya drill here for quite a while, have we? Well, that's not very good. Let's see, is that any better? Oh, a little bit. Okay. Now, maybe I should move in. Okay, so we want this hole and this one. Am I through? Oh yeah. Okay, I was waiting to see the sawdust coming up the flutes, but I wasn't seeing any, and that's why I kept going. But I guess I could have quit a little bit earlier. Anyway, the idea is that our catapult should fit on there. Now, should we try it and see? Now, I'm not going to glue it on now because I'm thinking of using the that paint that we didn't like. That gray that looked like metal. What do they call it? I can't remember now. And I was thinking maybe doing the catapult with that. Well, we'll see when the time comes. But I want the catapult slightly different than what this is going to be. At least that's the plan for now. We'll see what happens here. Oh, yeah. Okay, very gently here now. Now, where are those pins? It should just sort of fall into place here. There we go. Now, I know some people are going to say you got too much play going on there, but I better too much than too little. Now, I think that the thing to do when the time comes will be to glue it down just where these feet are on the top of the turret, rather than trying to glue it where the pegs come, because I think that these brackets actually hold it up off of the. Well, we'll see when the time comes. Anyway, it fits, so good. We're just getting one step closer to being done with step 10. Now we're not going to need to get on the inside here anymore. We've got our holes drilled. This one's fitting good. Oh, by the way, the other one that when I reheated it, I didn't explain what I had done. So I reheated this bracket here, and I sort of pried everything over. Now I want to remember not to touch this ladder, or I'm going to be gluing it back on again. Yeah, but unfortunately, when I was heating it, I sort of misformed, you might say, the bottom of the platform. You can see how it got maybe too hot. But when I realized I'd done that, I wasn't too worried about it, because I knew that this is going to be down. Nobody's going to see that anyway. So that's okay. But this one's going really nice. Yeah, I think we're safe to just glue that together right now. Where's my quick setting? Somewhere here. All right. I'll just let it wick its way in. I'll make sure that the front is nice and secure here, and then we'll worry about the back. Now, it doesn't take very long for that to bind. I keep wanting to say the word cure, but cure is the wrong word for this stuff. Okay, now this one we do have to put the ladder in the front. But I'm going to do it the same way I did the other two. I already did it on camera, so I don't need to do it again. Okay, let's press stop here. Okay, I have just glued our third ladder down. And I'm realizing a few minutes ago that I may have made a mistake here when I glued this shell on, because it's possible that on the bottom of this boat here, F-13, there are pegs that have to go through holes. Now, once again, I don't know because I haven't looked at it, but you know what? We're going to be looking at it tomorrow morning. What do we got here? 8:23, almost 8:24. I think it's time for this old man to call it a day. So, yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is morning. In fact, it's over 12 hours now since we glued this up. Now, I'm looking at the bottom of the little boat that has to be glued on the top here beside the catapult, and there are no pegs. So we were lucky there. Let's recompose here and get this thing. There's going to be careful here what is flashing and what is supposed to be the frets or thwarts or whatever you call them that go across. Anyway, let's recompose here. Okay. Now, I don't think we need to look for the numbers, but we need 13 and 14. It's pretty obvious what we need here. Just got a phone call from my neighbor about 10 minutes ago, and he was saying that they're predicting possible power outages, and they're going to be going to the store later this morning, wondering if I needed anything. So I said, well, maybe, you know, if the power's out, you can't cook, right? Because we everything here in Winnipeg more or less operates off of electricity. Like we don't have a gas stove. We have a gas furnace, but it won't work without electricity either. And yeah, so I told him, well, maybe pick up a couple of large boxes of Raisin Bran and a 4-liter jug of milk, and hopefully the power outages won't last too long. But you never know. It's supposed to be possibly the worst storm we've had in years, so I'm not looking forward to this at all. But then also there is the possibility that you know, it could turn to rain. So, but I don't think so. The temperature's supposed to really be dropping. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. All right, we got this. Let's clean it up and take a look at them. Okay, there's a few little places here that I can see that I gotta go over it again. Like right here where the sprue was connected. I wish that they had connected it somewhere else other than right at the gunnel. I guess they knew what they were doing. Then on the back here, there's some sort of almost like a tiller or something's going on, like the tiller bar, not the rudder, but I don't know what this is all about, but I'm sure that it's supposed to be there because it's the same on both of them. I got these inserts cleaned up pretty good. Person would have to be careful. This part that I'm touching right now is not flashing. That's supposed to be there. It's probably where they would put a mast or something like that. You know, I never did try one of these to see how they fit. I'm just doing this now for the first time. They're probably going to fit okay. Yeah, that's going to go okay. I just have to clean it up a little bit more. But I'm going to call it quits for today. I want to spend a little bit of time doing some canning. I thought I've got a lot of food, and I was talking earlier about, you have to be able to cook it. But on the other hand, if you can it, you can always eat it cold. Who likes to eat cold soup? Although there is a cold soup, can't remember the name of it. But I'll do that and cook up some meat and stuff like that. Or maybe I'll make a bunch of soup with heavy on the meat, if you know what I mean. I've got chicken, and I've got ground beef, and I've got lean pork and stuff like that. So I'll be able to make some stuff up, just in case. Better to be safe than sorry, because Murphy's Law. If you don't do it, we will have a power failure. And it'll be a big, long one. And the longer it will be will depend on how little food you have in the house. Now, at the end of today's episode, I will put the sunrise. It's only about 30 seconds long. I've already done it. And I did it in time lapse. I think I compressed about 30 minutes into 30 seconds or something like that. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.